Day 7. Beautiful morning. Just leaving the coal mine campground. That was a good little break. Nobody in the tenting area at all. It was pretty busy when I was there last time. But there's a few RVers, but not too many. So it was quiet, except for a truck that came rumbling down the hill with the retard brakes on at about 4:30. But I usually get up pretty early anyway, so that was fine. I'm into new territory now. I haven't gone beyond coal miner campground before, so up ahead is the actual town of Carmacks, so it kind of meanders around a whole bunch of stuff, so we'll see what we can see. So I thought about flying the drone just on the edge of Carmacks, between Carmacks and the campground. There's a, you can see that windsock there. There's a helicopter base here. I heard it last night. Must be there somewhere. Anyway, the drone probably won't let me fly because it's it'll have a restriction on it. The bridge. Second bridge. First one being the one I started at. But this one goes to Dawson and beyond, to the Arctic Ocean if you want. If you go straight, it goes to Dawson, the Klondike Highway. If you go right or south, it'll head to Little Salmon and Faro. So this is kind of interesting. I've gone about 7 kilometers and the campground is a couple hundred meters that way. So the switchbacks, the meanders, the bends, it's all kind of working back on itself. Still loggable miles or kilometers for sure. But yeah, just a lot of S-turns here, so it'll be like this for an hour or two anyways, before it starts to straighten out again. I'm clear of the town and the buildings. There's the odd cabin around. Yeah, like I said, this is new territory. Another cutoff, but there's some moose up ahead. There's a mother with 2 little ones. Oh, they're getting out of the water though. I think they heard me. Darn it, I missed it for the camera. Found this little cutoff, little tiny one, so it's narrow as you can see. Lets me escape the wind a bit, but they're just swimming across this little narrow to this little island to my right. Yeah, mama moose and 2 little ones. They're still kind of tan colored, so they're pretty young. But yeah, they must have saw me. Or heard me, I'm not sure. But they're quiet on that island now. But amazing. So cool. Like it seems like, oh, it's just a moose. I've seen moose on the highway all the time, or at the zoo or whatever. It's just a moose. But I've been out here 7 days. See some birds, some the odd thing here and there, but when you see something, especially when you're alone, and you see another life or another soul, if a moose has a soul, or any animal for that matter, a lot of people believe that they do. I think they do. Yeah, it just makes you appreciate it, because I've been, except for last night, I've been essentially alone. I've said more words, way more words to the camera than any other person or thing. And when you run across something like that, it's exciting. It's just a moose. But you always see that if you watch other YouTubers that do this kind of thing, these kinds of trips. They're always so excited when they see something, and you're like, oh, big deal. That's nothing. Well, when you've been alone for days or weeks, these things are precious. And I'm glad they're out here. Myers Roadhouse. This was the old stagecoach road to Dawson, and every so often on the road they'd have roadhouses where people could stop and spend the night or rest or whatever. So this is one of those places. And eventually they had regular roads cut through, and there's a telegraph station here, a wood lot for the steamships that still came down. They must have had a better landing though. Oh, there's a group backing up just to the right here. Pretty dark, I don't know if you can see it straight on. Actually, when I pulled into the coal mine campground, they were just setting out, so. So I did spot a bear high up on that slope there, and he just went into the trees. Just a little black bear. He didn't see me, he's just browsing, but I thought I could get a shot of him, but he's in those trees somewhere. So we are coming up to the Five Finger Rapids. This is the only real significant water hazard on the route. Everyone I've ever heard that have gone down here that's actually knows what they're doing says it's nothing much, but it is the most significant, so should be right around the bend here. That channel to the left looks nuts, which is why we're gonna stay right. This isn't it. Here we go. Five Finger. rollers. We're not done yet. Fun. 5 finger. Let's have a look. Well, you already seen it, but I didn't see the backside yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers, yes. Well, I got all excited for not a whole lot. You do have to pay attention though, for sure. If you went even slightly sideways down those, an open canoe, you'd be swamped. There is a few more supposedly up ahead, although not as big. But if you're not paying attention and you're high-fiving, 5 finger rapid, you might get into trouble. High water, that's probably as big as the waves get, but there's probably a lot of rocks that are hidden that I'm not having to worry about either. Definitely, I don't know, I'm not a rapid expert. I'd say a class 2 plus, just because of the size of the waves. So right here used to be a Northwest Mounted Police post. And I guess what they used to do is put a net across the river because there was so many people drowning in Five Finger Rapids, which is back that way. And they figured at least this way they could catch the bodies and figure out who had died, so they could identify the bodies. Five Finger Rapids used to be much more severe. They blasted a lot of the rocks out with explosives. To make it easier, the steamships usually had to get towed up with winches or horses or something. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, it used to be quite a bit more severe. But I'm glad it's not severe now. The river didn't drop a whole ton, to be honest. Maybe 1.5 feet from what I could tell, which isn't a huge drop, but I guess the volume of water could be substantial. That other group is long gone, so they're paddling tandem though, so I would expect them to do better than me, even though I got Excalibur back here. Do you name your paddles? I've decided to name this Excalibur. It's so nice to handle and great for the stroke count and speed. My backup, I think I'll call that Battle Axe. Big, powerful paddle, but it weighs a little, well, twice as much as this one. It's still lighter than my old ones, but sometimes you need the Battle Axe, sometimes you need Excalibur. I really like Excalibur after using the Battle Axe. So we're coming up on Rink Rapids. Now this one didn't really seem as noted as much as the Five Finger one, but from the top it looks pretty substantial. So yeah, let's see how she goes. I'm gonna put Excalibur away and go for the Battle Axe again. Maybe you could just skirt right around it though. As much fun as riding the rollers is, it's a risk every time. I'm prepared in case I go over. I have contingency plans, but reducing the risk is the smarter play, especially when you're by yourself. The location is pretty remote, although we're not too far from the Klondike Highway, but still. Probably doesn't look very big in the GoPro. Again, they were pretty substantial back in the day. They had to blast a lot of the rocks away. Actually, that wouldn't be that bad. They're smaller than 5 finger for sure. So this is supposed to be Sam McGee's ashes. And if you know the Robert Service poem, The Cremation of Sam McGee, this is where they say, the guy telling the story put his ashes after the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. He cremated Sam McGee. Now, Lake LaBarge is quite a ways away from here. And I thought there was, oh, you got some swallows nesting in your ashes there, Sam. So Lake LaBarge is quite a ways upriver from here. So that'd be a long way to bring ashes. I think in my other video, there was something that said the ashes like that kind of spot was further up, but the map I got now says that's it. So there's some discrepancy of where Sam may be. So what it actually is a volcano ash. And there was an eruption in the area. I'll have to find out where. And that's where all that volcanic ash came from. So I was reading a bit last night. They figured this eruption happened around 400 AD or something like that. And at that time it precipitated a lot of the indigenous people to move more south and into the lower southwest United States. So up until then, maybe they were pretty happy living up here, and I can see why. Another bit of an update. It is lunchtime, so probably gonna keep snacking away. But I passed, I think it was the same group again. I'm not sure. They were stopped on a sandbar, and it is lunchtime, so they're probably stopped for lunch. But it might be a different group too. They have a red canoe, and I don't remember the group that I seen before had. I don't remember if they had a red canoe, but this group had a red canoe. But there's potentially 2 groups, but maybe just one. Haven't seen anyone else. Okay, so I'm at Yukon Crossing. It is really overgrown. Like, the grass is 5 feet high. I put my life jacket on a tree over there so I could find the trail back to my canoe. I came on a side channel. I would think there's a campsite somewhere, but I don't know. We'll check out these buildings anyways. So what is this building here? Oh, big one. It did mention something about a stable, so this could have been a stable for the horses. I'm not going to go too far in there. Just sucked up by the land. Gotta be careful I don't fall into a hole. Yeah, lots of windows, so I don't know if it would be a stable. I don't know if you put windows in the stables. Large building though, for sure. Yeah, multiple stories. This might have been the roadhouse. As the sign said, yeah, people would stop on the trail. So first it was a dog sled route, then a horse and buggy route. This looks like part of the roof. There's that other one. And I'm getting more of a path here. Looks like there's been a tent. A couple tents set up at least. So, yeah. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a camp. Of a path. Yeah, here's a bit of a camp spot. Hard to find though. Oh, this is it. Not much to it. Garbage. Frickin' people. Stop leaving your garbage around. This could be the actual road. Stagecoach road, dog sled road. Might be the occasional ATV gets through here or snow machine. But this probably was the road. The river's right to my left there. To cross the river, they would do it in the wintertime, and they had a cat tractor trailer kind of thing that drove across the ice to get people across. I wonder if this is where they would have crossed. Right here. The sign's here, so that would make sense. Is there a landing on the other side from here? Will be hard to find, but somewhere over there. That is called Hudachinko Bluff. Not a lot unlike Eagle Bluff. And we got a bit of a weather change again. I got my rain jacket on, not because I think it's going to rain, but because it's cool and there's a good stiff breeze. The great thing is, it's a tailwind. So it's pushing me along quite well. Alright, it's the end of day 7. Canoes all put to bed. I'll show you the campsite. But I'm pretty much all set up. Just got to throw the tent up. As you can see, it's all sunny again now. Awesome. Nice open area. Probably do dinner there. And then I can't decide, put the tent there, or I got my tarp pitched right here. I could put the tent kind of sort of under this too. That's a really flat spot. And the best part of this site, let me show you. And got a balcony. So I might make dinner there, but I'm probably gonna eat dinner here. Look at that forest. Well, chilly morning. Whew. Had to get my puffy coat on. I gotta be careful with my water filter. Last time it froze, and when that happens, they're no good. So I might have to start taking that into the tent with me. Brr. Anyway, I'm gonna get some coffee going, but I had a kind of an eventful night last night. I was just packing up and going to bed, and there was a bobcat that was, I was moving and he kind of startled a little bit, ran a little bit off, and then just sat there and stared at me. Had a big yawn and was just sitting there watching. So this is weird. So I scared him away. He ran off. But I've never seen a bobcat before. Yeah, about the size of a medium-sized dog. So I'm not too worried about a bobcat attacking a person. I don't know if that's happened or not, but dogs, yeah, they'd probably do a number on a dog. But I had my iPhone handy, so I got some footage of my iPhone. So I'll have a look. But yeah, I was just here's kind of where I was moving from here, and I kind of had all my bear-proof bag tied to the tree here, so I was just making sure it was tied, and he was right in there, probably watching, seeing what the heck was going on. And then he bounded out of there and didn't go very far. He only went to about here and then sat down and looked at me. So we were eye to eye for a little while. I went back down to where my blue barrel is there, grabbed my phone. Of course, you got to grab your phone before death, right? And then got a little quick video of him. So that was really cool. Now that I think of it, and I'll show you this too, is I thought that I had seen wolf scat. I thought, well, they're a little small, but maybe they're not wolf at all. Maybe what I saw was bobcat scat. There's quite a bit all over, but this is the most I found. So maybe they got a den around here somewhere. We can see all of this. There's a beaver. There he goes. He was sniffing at me for a bit there. Boom! See ya! Oh, he's right up again. Oh, they're fast. Didn't see a lodge there, but maybe there is. The water's so high it's hard to tell. Have a good day, Mr. Beaver. Morning of day 8. I'm starting to lose track of the days, but since I started on the 1st of a month, it's a little easier. But yeah, bright and sunny. Already seen a little bit of wildlife with that beaver. It's chilly, but that's par for the course this early in the morning, but I'm sure it's going to warm up just fine. Just passing through Minto. Got a big circus tent there. Must be some sort of festivity going on. You can see a couple old ruins there. Looks like there's a sign probably talking about what Minto is. Not as old as some of the Klondike Gold Rush things, but still a potential point for current exploration and mineral extraction. The highway branches off from here. So we're leaving the road, finally. Since Little Salmon, we've had a road more or less probably a day's walk at the most to our right, but it branches off now, and the river kind of goes more westerly. The road goes more direct to Dawson. And here's a ferry that looks like it's in service, although I believe it's just used for mining purposes. It's just a private road there that leads to a copper mine. And maybe they aren't mining currently. Doesn't look like anyone's there. Minto Bluff. There's an old stagecoach road that passes right along the front of it, so I'll have to see if it's still there when we're at Narrows. But up top here used to be a little cabin. Don't think anyone's home, but you never know. People like their quiet and solitude. That's probably why they come up here. So faced upstream right now, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of haze behind me and a smell of wood smoke, so probably a forest fire around. Looks like to be to the west, so we're headed to the west, so we'll see what happens. So coming up on an area called Hell's Gate. Looking at the map, there's like hundreds of little islands and channels. It says to keep left, so we'll keep left. So here we have what is called Devil's Lookout. And for sure you could see a long ways up and down the valley. You can see the smoke haze. But it also shows there used to be a telegraph line along there. Today's day and age, we got cell phones with just a text away, but if you only had telegraph, well, you'd have to find the telegraph site, post, hike in. Maybe you'd have to take a couple days to get there to send a message. Maybe you'd have a message waiting, maybe not. Well, I finally see a boat. They didn't wave or anything. So it looks like the smoke's starting to clear off a bit. So that's kind of nice. Not quite so hazy, still a bit though. And actually what we have here is this valley coming in is the Pelly River. It's a major tributary that flows into the Yukon. And fact check, but a lot of big trips like the Snake, the Wind, the Bonnet Plume, all kind of run into that river. I hear a helicopter, but I don't know where it's at. Must be down in that valley. Should be coming up on Fort Selkirk, but the wind is playing havoc with my maneuvering and the current, especially when there's eddies, and there's lots with all these braids. So started recording early just in case I lose it. Yeah, once I get backwards, it's hard to turn around. She's a good old boat, not the best for solo paddling. It holds a lot though, lots of payload. Fort Selkirk, there's supposed to be a dock just past it. I hope that's the case. The wind is crazy. Boat landing. 300 yards. Okay, here's the landing. There's no dock. My poor canoe is taking a beating on this trip. But it is what it is. Repairs will come later. Let's go look at Fort Selkirk. There's at least one other person here. Interesting craft. Looks like an inflatable kayak with a roller bag. So probably someone from Europe, maybe. Wow, look at this place. Might have to spend a little time here. Very cool. And camping. So I'm learning stuff about this place. Apparently it predates the gold rush. So the Hudson Bay Company set up a trading post here in 1850 something. And there was an indigenous community here that fished for thousands of years. So technically it was, they say, the first unofficial capital of the Yukon Territory. So it was kind of, this is where people would have came through on the way to Dawson, before it was Dawson. This place is amazing. It goes on forever. I don't even know if I'm going to get into all the buildings. I'll do my best. Everything is open. Stained glass windows. Oh boy. You could ring the bell. Is there an actual bell up there? There is a bell. I might have to make a separate video of just Fort Selkirk, because unlikely anybody's gonna get up here. There's no way to get here except by paddling. Well, that's crazy. I've been walking around here for almost 3 hours checking out all these buildings, and I haven't even seen them all. Looks like a bit of a thunderstorm's rolling in too. I'm all the way at the other end of Fort Selkirk, which it's big too. So it's about a good kilometer walk, maybe more, all the way down the shoreline. So I'll make my way back, and it's almost 4 o'clock. So I'm gonna camp here. They have a camp spot, and then, yeah, I might as well just stay here. I don't know how much further I can get. Got a good headwind today, and I heard a little bit of a thunder, so never good to be out on the water with thunder. So this will be home. I'll go set up there. There is another person. We saw that weird looking kayak. Definitely European gentleman. I don't know where he came from. It's hard to understand, but he's the only other person here except for people that are at work restoring the place. And it's awesome what the work they've done over the years. It's amazing. If you're coming, you have to, if you're paddling the Yukon River, you have to take a few hours to look at this place if you're into history like I am. There's no other way to get here other than paddling, or I suppose you could fly here or guided trip or something, but yeah, the place is all self-exploration. You don't have to pay anything. It's indigenous land, so they just ask for that you respect the place, which we definitely will do. Camping's free, all of that. So come to Fort Selkirk if you're paddling. You won't be disappointed. This is right up there with the paddle wheeler, Lady Evelyn. I don't know which one's better, actually, to be honest. So much history I learned about the area just by coming here that I didn't know before. Anyway, I probably won't film much more when I get back to camp. Like I said, there's a person there, so I don't like to film when other people are around. So we'll try to keep our distances, or at least I will. I'm here for solitude, not for socializing. People who know me know me. Anyways, that's that. I'll sign off here. I'll see you on the water tomorrow. It is day something. Day 9. It is day 9. Good morning. Rained almost pretty much all night last night. That should have knocked the forest fire down, the smoke that I experienced yesterday, so that's a good thing. And yeah, it's not as chilly, but it's overcast, maybe in for some more rain. We'll have to see, but we got a big day planned on the Yukon River. Just passing Fort Selkirk right now, or leaving Fort Selkirk. Yeah, I was enthralled by that place. That's probably a good word, enthralled. The history, the buildings, just the way it's kept. It's not too sanitized. Some of it's kind of the way it was. Some of it's they're restoring as much as they can, but they're trying to leave it as much as it is. and just endless buildings to wander into. I was there for 3.5 hours, and I didn't get into all of the buildings. Like, it was just crazy. Learned a lot about stuff like the Yukon Field Force that came out here when the gold rush hit. They thought, well, we better send some troops over to protect our sovereignty, so we sent half our military, or no, I think it was a third of our military, and that was 205 people at the time. So things changed rapidly when World War I broke out, but they sent the troops here. They were stationed in Fort Selkirk. They were only here for 2 years. It took them 2 years or almost 2 years to get here with all their equipment. And then they dispersed, did other things, worked for the Northwest Mounted Police, whatever, different things like that. And then Fort Selkirk itself, it's been here for thousands of years. The indigenous people had this as a settlement because the Pelly River comes in through here, and the Yukon River, a great place for fishing and living. So they were always here. But even before the gold rush, the Hudson Bay Company set up a trading post here, 1850s or something like that. So before Dawson City and everything else, this is probably the biggest settlement in the Yukon Territory before the gold rush. So this is called Victoria Rock. Pretty impressive. Hard to pan. What is also interesting about this part of the river is they say that this is all basalt rock. There's good whirlpools here. Which means it's all volcanic. Most of the bluffs and cliffs that I passed through the upper river is all sand and gravel, as you can see, which is glacial. And this is all volcanic, and I don't know what all that means, but should be a change of geology anyways. He was right there in front of me. The other thing about the sand is in the water. As you can see, the water is really muddy, sandy, silty. So that's another part. My water filters are taking a beating on this one. You can always hear the sand beating against the hull of the canoe, like a constant whooshing noise. This rock is something else. I gotta spin around and let you see it, even though the wind's gonna screw with me. What do you think of that? Pretty cool. Coming up on an eagle. I'm gonna have to head right for him. I'll have to see how long he stays there. Fishing. Kayak guy just passed me. He took another channel. There's so many channels and braids, and there's less landmarks that are obvious. So you need to pay attention to where I am. First time I had to pull out the GPS just to kind of see with that map versus the paper map to see where I was. But yeah, I'm on track. Might be a long day today though, if that wind keeps up. Wind usually gets worse as the day goes on. But we'll see. This is the Yukon. Everything's different up here. Everything changes immediately. You can see the sun's coming out. Still a little chilly, especially in that wind, but things are going good. You can see a recent burn here. I don't know if that would be this year. Very well could be. There isn't really any new sprouting going on in there, so. Well, that didn't work out at all. There's less current in the channel and the wind is just as bad. I actually had to stop and get out to eat. I couldn't control myself in there. I couldn't control myself. It sure is pretty though. I'm just making my way out onto the main part of the river, so we'll see what it's like. There'll be more current there, so it should work out. I got my my hat tied down too, because I'm probably gonna blow my hat off if I don't. Still making progress, not very fast, but we're moving forward. All right, well, I'm working today. Still awesome scenery. This is unbelievable. I don't know that that has a name. They name everything here, so it probably does. That headwind, I am not covering much ground today. It's 2:30 already, and I don't even think I've done 50K. So, and I am exhausted. At some point, I'm barely moving. Like I can hardly find the current half the time. So, anyways, this is Selwyn. Another little settlement here, or was a settlement. We got a little cabin here we'll check out, and a dirty ass campfire. Good job, people. That's facetious. So yeah, we got Selwyn. Let's go have a look around. Yeah, it'd be a nice little camp spot too. If push comes to shove, I'm gonna see what the weather's like and make a decision. Because if this wind is getting worse, cool. No placards to tell me what it is, but it's a good size collapsed cabin. 2 rooms at least, I think. 2 parts anyways. Yeah, I suppose these trees falling on it didn't help matters. Looks like it might have just happened too. Well, just is relative. No one's been by to take them down. Yeah, 2 parts to it. A window. Even floorboards. A little closet actually. Although there's a tree growing up and over on top of the closet. Like, look at the size of that tree. It's got to be an 80-year-old tree. Well, that's not from the era, the gold rush era. It's been here a while though. This probably is. What's left of wood stove. Oil drum wood stove. How about this one? It's almost like a hobbit house. I'm not sure. Like that tree was cut and it's on the roof. Did someone cut it onto the roof? That would be rude. Creepy. Hopefully there's no animals in there. Hello, animal! Oh yeah. There's a massive cleared out area for tents. So lots of places for tents in this site. But I'm not finding much else except for those 2 cabins. Okay, so here's the plan. Always listen to nature. Don't fight nature. So for the weather, it's supposed to be no rain tonight, so that's good. I could dry everything out, and the wind is supposed to not be a headwind tomorrow or the next day. So instead of killing myself on the river going against that headwind, I could just rest up here and be ready tomorrow. The next good campsite is, like, with the wind, it's at least 3 hours away, and I could go that long. It'll take me to 5:30 or something like that, but I'll be dead when I get there. So probably do it in 2 hours tomorrow. So I'm gonna stay here and dry out my stuff since it got all wet last night. And yeah, I hate to be off the water at 3 o'clock. I keep saying that, but it's true. I've been off the water before 3 for the last 2 nights, so actually 3, so I guess that's par for the course. But I do get on the water early, so yeah, I'll check back with you later. Just watching how this cliff and bluff is changing as the night goes on. all set up here at camp. And yeah, why not? It's really buggy here, so thought a fire might help out. And it has. I'm just hanging out. It's about 8:30. I'll probably be turning in pretty soon anyways, but I got everything put away. All done. Day 9. At the Selwyn post. Please like and subscribe if you like this. Part 4, the last part's coming soon. There's a lot of black flies in the Yukon.